Hello YouTube community, this is Sarah coming at you from my studio. Pendulum 101. How to ask your pendulum yes and no questions, and also how to use a mat. So a lot of time for pendulum work, the most simple way and most basic way to kind of learn how to use your pendulum is to start by asking it yes and no questions. To identify your yes and no question answers, ask your pendulum questions that you already know the answers to, but that you are unattached to the answers. It is key when you are asking your pendulum any question that you remain completely neutral. Remember that your answers will be tainted if you interfere emotionally with what you're channeling. So really do try to make sure that you are channeling pure neutrality with your questions. It's, one of those things. It's sometimes easier to have someone else ask the question and channel it for you if you can't remain neutral in your asking of the pendulum. But just be sure to also channel white light and ask your spirit guides for help. You can also use them to identify cards in a tarot pool or areas on a body in Reiki sessions, energy portals, things like that. They are a scrying divination tool. But one of the most basic things that you can do with a pendulum is ask it a yes and no question. It will begin by answering in either circular motions or cross motions. And it's up to you to kind of depict which ones are going to work for you. There's no standard or anything like that. I will tell you that when it picks when it picks circular motion for me, it goes clockwise, and when it picks for yes and counterclockwise for no. And for cross, when it picks crossways, answering for me. And also what's funny is it depends on the pendulum as to which way it picks to go. It always does yes as in a nod of the head and a no as in the shake of a head. So it's funny that each pendulum's kind of different in that way, interestingly enough. So this is a pendulum mat. I have these available. And what they do essentially is you lay it down on a table and you center your pendulum in the center, holding it approximately with your finger and your thumb together. And you kind of want it to drape between that cusp there and put your hand open, but kind of like that. So if you can see my hand here, which I'll put it down, my fingers are like this. The chain is between my thumb and pointer finger, kind of resting through and on top of it with a little bit of it hanging back here. And we're going to go ahead and just demonstrate this simple, I don't have any questions off the top of my head to ask. It's always bad, but the simple demonstration of it is that this is no, stop. This is yes. Stop. And what I really like about it is that it has a maybe, stop, and a rephrase. So if you are getting overly complicated with your question, it will require you to sit back and think about it. So there are some of my thoughts on pendulums. If you'd like me to show off how to read a pendulum for picking scrying and things like that, let me know. We can definitely make that happen. But this is definitely basic pendulum usage, and that's always where to start. Light, love, and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my show. Be sure to like and subscribe.